So we're partnering with USARA to bring Own It to other cities, to your city. And so this is an invitation for us to tell you a little bit about Own It, and you guys get to work with your community to find artists to be a part of the show. They don't necessarily have to identify as artists, just anybody who has something that they would like to share. And so what we need from you is a little bit of help in figuring out 3 things. 1, what is the venue? 2, who are the artists going to be? And 3, what is the theme? So that's kind of how we start to build a show. Is first we pick a venue, we pick a date, we pick a theme, and we find artists, and then voila, my kids knock over the dog food bowl in the other room. We're not really totally professional. We're just people.
Yeah.
And so that's the invitation. Is just people. Any person can be a part of our show. You don't have to be professional. You don't have to be polished. Usually what happens is we throw out a theme, and then the artists just kind of come find us, and we find them. We've had storytellers, poets, rap artists, singer-songwriters, dancers, hula hoopers. We've had a whole treatment center put together a piece. They rewrote songs based around how ridiculous rehab can be. So one of the songs was Rehab Lovin'. And they rewrote lyrics to that song from Grease. So, I mean, really, it can be absolutely anything. The point is that people in recovery are really creative, and we're here to support that creativity. So this invitation is just the beginning. So once you guys kind of get with your community and gather up some artists, we might bring some artists of our own from Salt Lake to kind of like help get things rolling. Some people who have been a part of our show a couple times over the years. And then we're going to make a mad dash for the show. What's a mad dash for the show?
Well, mad dash is, I mean, we'll have some probably over some Zoom or whatever type of interactions before, but the mad dash part is when we come down to your city a couple days before the show, and we get together and it's kind of like cramming for a test, except we're cramming for a performance. And it's really cool. There's a lot, it generates a lot of energy. And shows like this, especially because we're not local community, we're going to rely kind of heavily on the energy that you put into it. If it's something that you're interested in, not only you as the performer, but also you USARA branch, because we can't be there kind of doing what we normally do, because we do have a little bit of a following out here that come to every show. And so this is kind of what's cool about this opportunity is, you get to bring your local community to this thing, and we show up and mad dash and boom.
So a mad dash usually looks like 2 to 3 collaborative meetings that are a couple of hours long. So everybody brings their piece. We all get together in a group. We give feedback. We help develop the piece together. We rehearse. We practice going over sound stuff. We go over stage tips. We just kind of like rally the energy, because part of what makes Own It so cool is the support that each artist gets from the other people that are in the show. So for example, the last show that we had, the day before the show, we all went to lunch at Olive Garden, and we all got to talk about kind of like what we've experienced in collaborating and creating the show together. So that mad dash is actually really important to build the energy collectively with everybody who's going to participate. And so the day of the show, we usually have a rehearsal a couple hours before, and then that night we all just get to see what happens. I host the show. Phil does all of the sound, and he's the magician behind the curtain, and so we'll bring all the energy we got, and we're just asking that you guys do the same, and I think it will be pretty cool. We are totally available via email if you guys have any questions, and you can kind of tap into your USARA network to communicate with us And with them, they have our contact information as well. I would think it would be cool if you guys wanted to go to our website and look at our website. And there's pictures there from our previous shows. We also record a podcast that we've been doing for a couple years. And so you can see all of that content kind of that Own It has built. It's ownitslc.com. And we are super excited to go on the road with our show because it's something that we've been talking about for a while now, and it just hasn't happened. And so this partnership with USARA has really empowered us to be able to take Own It on the road and get to meet new people in new cities. And so it's like a dream come true for us. So we're going to bring all that joy down to you.
Yeah, so the three things we, just to reiterate, the three things we need you to be thinking about is the venue,
The theme, and the performers.
So, before we leave you, a couple of our themes have been
Stories of homelessness.
fatherhood.
So we had all dads, a show of all dads. We try to bring up topics that are not cliche, like that you don't like subjects that are maybe like even slightly taboo or kind of like on the edge.
Well, they're like thought provoking.
Yeah. So we don't want to like. I mean, that's not to say that on Valentine's Day we didn't have a show called Some Kind of Love
thing. But even with the theme, if it is, so it's not just the theme isn't just love, right? It's some kind of love thing. So we like to kind of twist it up and get thinking from a different side of it.
Yes. Oh, that's important.
Because sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's your places and it's just the same like words, like unity, humility, and those are all important and part of life, but how do we say it differently so that we're thinking about it with a different narrative and not the same story that we've told ourselves, which is the essence of Own It. I mean, we're both from a background of recovery, so you get stuck in the same thought process.
Same one-liners, the same jargon, the same cliches that you say all the time. And pretty soon you're like, wait, is that really even true? I mean, that's a pretty important component. That's actually why we created Own It in the first place, is because we were both feeling stifled and frustrated. Like, is this just what my life's going to be forever?
Yeah.
Like, I need a little bit more creative expression than that. So you definitely hear people's stories, but you hear it in a way that you've never heard it before.
Yeah, so it approaches it kind of what we push against in the raw groups is like what is actually happening, So there it is. It might be freezing right now.
I know. I feel like our computer is doing something weird.
But
maybe we should just sit here for 5 seconds and see what happens, and see if it'll catch up.
There it is. And so, sorry about that, but I think you got the information you need. You can always reach out to us, ownitslc@gmail.com, and we have phone numbers. You can get those as well. You
Probably
can
from
us.
Rachel
Rachel, yes.
Santizo, I think, is kind of like the contact person here at USARA in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
So we're excited to meet you. We're excited to hear from you. We're excited to collaborate with you. And
that's it.
The end.
That's all you need, I think. That's enough from us. So, thank you.